It's Monday, and since I haven't been able to do a sit-down podcast in a while, I thought I might try to just throughout the next couple days update you on each of my projects. So today I am working on my sport weight socks, and I am on the toe of the first one. I think that it's long enough and it's gonna fit. It's not super tall. This is Wonderland Yarns Mad Hatter, and it was like a mini set skein that I got as a prize from last year's Make 9 Make Along from Amy of Noble Character Crafts. And then I'm doing the heel and the toe in a Patton's sock yarn that I already had, because this is all 100% superwash. I'm hoping that I have enough. When this sock is done, I'm gonna have to weigh it and then weigh my scraps that I have left, and hopefully it will work out. So we have, oops, sorry about my finger there. We have some really, really nice weather, but it's a little hotter than I like. So we're trying to enjoy the mornings because it's getting into the 80s already in the afternoons. And yesterday I was like, do you think we could turn on the air conditioning? And my husband said, it's not June yet. And I said, please. So he did turn on the air conditioning for me yesterday because he loves me. And then
I don't know.
also my baby's been a little bit sick just yesterday, and so she's sleeping really well right now. I'm gonna go get her up. The girls and I are gonna walk down to our garden and pick some lettuce so that I can have some salad with my lunch today. My husband and his dad and hopefully our son are going out to the farm where we also have part of our garden, and they're hoping to plant all of our tomatoes and peppers today, which would be, I'm not sure we calculated, 13 times 6. 26 plus 52, 78 plants that they need to get in the ground today. So, and I took the day off because the baby's sick. So, I should get some more knitting time than I would if, if she wasn't sick, because I would be trying to work in all my downtime. But I also got some bread dough going, and I need to like clean the bathrooms and fold and put away. I think we have 2 loads of laundry still to fold and put away. We try to wash all the clothes on Sunday and get them all put away on Monday, so then I don't have to think about them through the rest of the week. So yeah, that's Monday update, and hopefully I will check back in with you later this week with a different project. So I just prepped my sourdough bread for its next rise, and now I need to take care of all these radishes my husband just brought in. These are going to be going to our CSA. I still have dough on my fingers. To our CSA, and so I need to get them in water in the fridge so that they will stay fresh until we're ready to, until it's time for that. Here's my lettuce at the garden. I had to get my pea trellis up because look at those peas. Yay! Lots of lettuce. The CSA is getting lettuce this week. Maybe I'll walk over to the strawberries, but I gotta get the baby. I'll show you what we've got there. It's like noon now. The bread is looking so much puffier and delicious. Gives me hope. Morning, it's Tuesday. The baby's taking her nap. I just finished my 3rd hour of work for today, trying to get in 5, but I was sitting and knitting while my toddler plays Legos. She's feeling sick today, so the baby's feeling better and another one's down. We'll see how the week progresses. But I'm working on my stripe hype sweater today. This is a pattern by Kutu Vakika, and it calls for 1 main color and 5 contrasting colors, and I've chosen to just use 3 contrasting colors. It's a worsted weight gauge, I think, and I am using Cascade 220 non-superwash. I had 4 skeins of a discontinued color, and so I'm using that as the main color, and then I purchased 3 different colors to use as contrasting colors. I am slightly off gauge, so maybe it's a DK, maybe a DK pattern, and then I'm knitting it at a more of a worsted gauge. And I had thought that I could knit the medium size and then knit all the way through the yoke, and blocked it and kind of reassessed. And after analyzing like project pages and pictures of people with their stripe hypes and other similar sweaters, I decided that I wanted to knit the size large, which will probably fit more like a 2XL for the pattern. I don't really know, I'm not looking at the pattern, but it will fit larger than a size large. And so I ripped everything back, and I like reallocated my sections of yarn to try to prevent having too many ends to weave in. And I also added a 4th stripe of the first color. I don't like my sweaters too short, and I've been really anxious about this being too short. And I knew I would have enough of this burgundy color to add a 4th stripe, so I just went ahead and did that. I feel like the first stripe will sort of sit on my shoulder, at least from the front. I don't think it will look too odd to have 1 extra stripe of that first color. And then I am on the last of this, I think it's the Sunflower is the name of this color, this yellow mustardy color. So I'm on the last stripe of that, and my plan is to pause, put it on tubing and block it, because I haven't blocked this version yet, when I finish this color and cut that yarn. I was so close. I was knitting, I had always planned when I finished the 3rd yellow stripe, I was going to block it. And I was knitting this stripe right before, so like the last of the main color before blocking it. And I was almost finishing, I was finishing a ball of yarn. And I was like, wouldn't it be perfect if I just have enough for this stripe? And then I could block it without being connected to yarn at all. And I made it down to like the last 30 stitches of the row. And I had to connect it as well. So, yeah, you can put those on by me. I'll take those Legos. So yeah, I like joined yarn like right there, and then my beginning of round is, you can see how close that is. And it was like the last round of that color. But that's okay. In the long run, it's not any additional yarn. It just means that I have to like I'm carrying the yarn over this yellow stripe instead of like just reconnecting at the end of the yellow stripe. But that's fine. It will be fine. What I don't think I have anything, but I keep trying to lean back, but it's a window, so I can't lean back. So yeah, and then I want to weigh my yellow yarn to see how much I have for the sleeves, if I'm on track. The orange color I'm going to do on the sleeves and on the body, and I only have 1 skein of that. So the yellow, I actually have a 2nd skein in case I want to use it. I bought it in case I run out of main color also, because the main color you do all the most of the ribbing in, and then you like kind of do a pop of each color at different parts. But I thought if I don't have enough of the main color to do the ribbing, I could do like all of the ribbing in that yellow. That's why I put it in the middle. So I kind of want to like see how my yarn management is going, and I don't know if I'll pick up sleeves then or if I'll just knit through the orange after I block it. I haven't decided. Maybe I should just knit through the orange and not even stop and block it now and then block it. Might have to do that because I don't think I weighed my yellow yarn before I started. So that's not really going to help me to stop and weigh it now. What I want to do is weigh the yellow as I'm doing the sleeves to see if I have enough for the orange, because I'm pretty close on the recommended yardage. If I could weigh the orange and then do I probably will do that. Who wants to stop and block it? I'm also a little worried about length, but if I'm going to stop and block it before the ribbing anyway and do the sleeves at that point because of yarn management, I might as well just wait and block it then. There's an option to do, once you finish the colored stripes, to either immediately start the ribbing in the main color or to do a main color stripe and then start the ribbing in the main color to adjust the length as you need it. And I've added an extra stripe, but I think, which would be like 2 extra inches of length, but I think I still might want the extra stripe before the ribbing, but I'm not for sure, and I don't know how my yardage is going to turn out for that. So yeah, this is the stripe hip sweater, and this is how far I am right now. And now that I've made that decision, I suppose I might as well just knit, because I have six more stripes after this one before I'm going to block it. Yay! Okay, so I actually did decide, shoot, my husband has the baby, don't worry, if you can hear her fussing. I did decide to block it after finishing the middle stripes because the pattern calls for decreases next, and I've never done a sweater with body decreases, so I wanted to see how it will fit, because it will decrease out more than 4 inches for me if I follow the pattern decreases. And so I kind of wanted to get an idea of what that might look like before I decide whether or not to do those. This is just where I changed yarn. So now weaving ends, that will look better, but here it is blocking. By the way, it is now Thursday evening. Okay, it is Saturday around noon, and I thought I would give a final update for the week on what I've been working on. I did decide not to do any decreases on my stripe pipe, so I have picked it back up and I'm adding the last color. It's actually looking, in comparison to the main color, it's looking more similar to the yellow than I expected. So now I feel like the burgundy is going to like pop out compared to these, but maybe once I get going it will be better. It won't be as, you know, weird. So yeah, just getting going on that. And I've been working a lot on my sport weight socks. Sorry, everybody is up and playing. And I finished and woven all the ends on this first one. And I have gotten really close on the second one. I think it needs one more stripe and the toe. I'm just saving it because that's easy knitting. I was worried that I was gonna not have enough of this light gray yarn for the 2 stripes it needed, especially since this first stripe was on the gusset. But I had enough, just barely. I wonder, did I cut it? or is it in here? This much left. Meanwhile, this gold cuff, I was short 1 row compared to the other one, and I just left it. I actually was short 2 rows, but I had a really long extra cast on edge, and I like wove that in and used it. I like threaded it up the inside and then used my cast on edge, my extra cast on, to knit the 17th round of ribbing. This one has 18 rounds and this one only has 17. So yeah, this is getting close, and this one seems to fit well so far. Be aware, this one seems to fit pretty well, so I'm excited to keep working on that. And then the last work in progress, I don't think I've shown you at all this week, but we did make minor progress. These are my Frankie socks. This is Knit Picks Felici in the Frankie colorway. And I had decided I was ready to put on the heel, but I needed to cake up yarn. And my daughters actually helped me cake up yarn this week, so I am ready to attach that and do the heel. This is just some yarn that I have for another project I want to cast on soon. It's a fingering weight t-shirt, and I thought I'd use it for the heel of my Frankie socks. It's a good neutral. Be careful. All right, children need their mother's attention. So that will wrap up my week-long project update video. I don't know what to call it, but that's what I'm working on. And thank you for checking. Thank you for bearing with me through all of this. God bless. Bye.